Okay, so what is this about? Well, yesterday I uploaded a video on my Patreon about this femboy VTuber who got arrested because they've been found with child prawn on their devices and they were a VTuber. So today I wake up to this lovely post. This person called Annie Rhea, Changeling Fae, Life 2D Rigger. They're saying, this is absolutely sickening, tagging me in the post at rimaevenstar. Not only did you put this behind paywall, but you treated this as a way to point fingers, accusing a cover-up from those who were friends with them and disowned them. This isn't news. You used others people's art without their permission. Never once did you talk or interview any person you name dropped that were deeply wounded by the situation because they genuinely trusted them. You also name dropped a misgendered someone. Next time, go digging for the relative news article on them. Go interview people involved. Get the fucking facts. This is absolutely sickening of you. I don't think I've ever been so disappointed. You have deeply upset some of my friends who were deeply involved with the said person, and that very much upsets me. And it upsets a lot more other people on deeper levels to the point they're literally throwing up. Do better. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm gonna unpack every single thing one by one because I feel like this is becoming a constant thing. And because in the past, I've let it slide because I wanted to be professional. I'm trying to be kind. But it seems to me now that because I've done this, people believe that they can walk all over me. And this was not the only one. They've done all kinds of other claims that we're going to go over later. So first of all, they're like, not only did you put this behind paywall, but you treated this as a way to point fingers, accusing a cover-up from those who were friends with them and disown them. This isn't news. This isn't like they're making it seem like I'm trying to hide the video behind Patreon. I'm not the one trying to hide the video. At this point, they're the one that's trying to hide the video. This video will be released on YouTube. So for those who are on Patreon, well, you know how it works. But for those who don't know, what I do basically is I put the video on Patreon. It's usually like kind of unfinished, but it's a way for people to watch it ad-free and censor-free. Besides that, after that, like usually the finishing touches or like some mistakes are edited afterward before it goes on YouTube. The last steps of video editing is the text overlay, which is where like credits would typically go, and then some sound effects. And then I ask my Patreon and I encourage them to watch the video because even though like I do revisions 2 or 3 times, because I'm so close to it, sometimes just having another pair of eyes watch it, they can flag like mistakes like, oh, Rima, you got a typo here. I was there when this happened and you missed this, or you should have spoken about this. And I'm like, bet. And then, you know, I make some iterations. Now, I made a response to this post on Twitter as well because they decided to take it to Twitter. So I had to respond to the platform they did it on. I reiterated that the Patreon is not the finished product. And I specifically asked on Patreon for my supporters to flag errors so they can be corrected. And I also explicitly stated that in the Patreon post itself. So it's not like it's something that you should know and they missed out. It's literally in the post. Like I said here, as always, please let me know if you find any mistakes or errors you guys are watching this way in advance of anyone else, you know? Like it's in the post, word for word. And then they're like, you used others people's art without their permission. We're gonna talk about fair use and all of that. So then I write, let me show you an example of what not to do. The version being criticized here was obtained by someone blatantly recording paid content and redistributing it without transformation. Basically, what they did is that what I assume is one of their friend called Miluku Moon. They subscribed to my Patreon yesterday and they unsubscribed almost immediately after. What they did is they screen recorded the video and they distributed it to other people. And Miluku Moon here yesterday said, Miluku Moon here, and I'm here to say that I'm highly displeased by this video. You used wrong pronouns on me. You used she, her, and barely they, them. I do not condone this. Now, when it comes to, I try to make an effort to correctly like pronoun everybody, but you guys know, if you watch my stream, that I do a lot of Rimaism. I like go on rants, and I often lose my train of thought. So mistakes do tend to slip by. So I generally made a mistake where I did not use the right pronoun. Mind you, they're not even one of the main people involved at all. They're just a tweet that I showed for like less than 20 seconds on stream. However, if somebody asked me nicely, now they were kind of rude in their request in the first place, but still, me wanting to do right by them, seeing that this is a fair request, I was like, I offered to re-record it and re-edit it. I was like, no problem, apologies, etc. So, and then today I wake up to this post, and then I look at some of the replies, and I realize that they actually didn't pay for the video. It was recorded by someone involved and keeping tabs, and showed us because we were involved. They're claiming that I'm defaming them and stealing other people's paid com without permission. And then I found this other post. There's like a bunch of people in the QRTs. They're all similarly saying the same thing. So this was definitely coordinated from like their Discord or whatever. And this person also admits to watching my stolen content. We have here 2 admissions of theft, basically content theft. This is for the part where they stole the video. That was unfinished, by the way. And now for the art claims. So this is a common misconception, and I'm going to take the time to address it here. Yeah, this is my text, Abel. Unfortunately I had to be. I mean, yes, it was a lot. It's pretty long, but there's so many lies that I had to debunk that I had to be thorough, unfortunately. So on the artwork, the claims that I stolen the art. Every VTuber commentary video showcases its subject visuals. When I'm showcasing a VTuber, I'm showcasing somebody's art. B-Morning VT was a V-tweeter with an OC, but no L2D model. On top of that, unfortunately, his account was suspended mid-video making. So we did what we could. We used a mix of artworks and photos he posted publicly on his profile as placeholders. We went through archives. We found what we could. Nonetheless, all of this still falls under fair use for commentary. I've credited artists in the past as a gesture of good faith, but in no way, shape, or form is a content creator obligated to credit you. Like, I do it to be courteous, I do it to be polite, but this is a common misconception, and perhaps because I've done it in the past, now it's being weaponized against me. But again, like, you don't have to take my word for it. If you're uncertain, just ask a lawyer. They're all going to say the same thing. Trust me, I looked into fair use. I looked into all of that. Now, for the defamation allegations, big words being thrown around, the segment in question that they're worried about covers community backlash against people that were formerly associated with B Morning VT, who initially refused to share a news article about his arrest because they cited concerns about doxing. This was in their initial statement. I will not be doxing the report. They're saying it here. So anyway, so they also, it's stated here, there's more evidence in the video as usual. Again, like, they're making it seem like this was the entire video where I am like reporting on the topic as it happened back then. When those statements came out, there was community backlash, and people were like, why are you not showing the article? It's public information. This guy committed serious crimes. It's not doxing. And in the video, I'm sympathizes with them too. I'm like, I understand, your fear of doxing. It's very taboo in the VTubing community. But of course, this post doesn't mention any of that. They're just saying I'm defaming them. So, like, again, I clarified in the video that sharing a news article about someone facing 5 felony charges is not doxing. Also, every word I attributed to them came directly from their own public statements. So if they take issue with how these statements look when read back, that's a problem with them, with their own statement, not with the coverage itself. Accurately quoting someone is not defamation. So again, what they leave out of their post is that I also defended them. And I was like, I empathize with them a lot more than the community did back then. I defended them. I said that at the end of the day, what they did was spread awareness about B And this is what's important. I also said that public statements are often peer-reviewed before release, which is why they looked similar, and that the criticism they received was disproportionate, and that it shifted the focus from what this dude did that was horrendous to a debate about doxing, which is like, we don't give a fuck about that. We care about what he did and spreading awareness about that. They should not be the one taking the full blame. So this post is like already greatly misrepresenting my take. And then after that, they start saying things like, I should have interviewed them. Never once did you talk or interview any person you named that were deeply wounded by the situation because they genuinely trusted you. Let me take a moment to address that, because that is something that keeps on coming out. Every time somebody is criticized in one of my videos, they make a post like this, right? Nobody likes to be criticized. And it's easy to take pot shots at Rima, so why wouldn't they make a Twitter post to get free clout points? And every time they're like, they could have interviewed me, they could have asked for a statement, they could have done this, they could have done that. No commentator is obligated to interview every person whose public posts they cover. By that logic, I should be interviewing B Morning VT from jail, since the video is about him. It ain't about you, it's about him. It's stupid. The whole point of the video is to capture something that already happened. The timeline and everyone's reaction and opinion at the time, not to recreate and insert myself into it with some kind of new information or someone's rewriting of what happened. Also, like, may I state once again that I am not a journalist. I'm a content creator. I do commentary content, but let's humor them for a second. Let's say I am a journalist and so many people like to bring similar arguments to this all the time. Even when journalists make news article about someone, they will basically just send an email to include a response to their claims or a statement. It's usually left for the end after the article is done, and it will never stop their publishing if you don't respond to it. They'll just add that we reached out and there was no response. Sure, plenty of journalists will say that, hey, we reached out for comment, but they will never change their article because of your statement. So whatever journal LARPing this is just stupid and it's misinformed. Again, I am not a journalist, I do commentary, but them bringing made up standards like this only hurt the authenticity of my videos and of any piece I would make. This is way too much of a reach on your content. A lot of folks who upload on YouTube also upload on Patreon. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Yeah, they're making it sound like this is some kind of like, I'm trying to hide some terrible truth behind the Patreon. Like, this is not what it is. Fuck, I gotta put my feet down sometimes. I have like my editor freaking out. They're like so worried because they're like, I'm the one who sourced these artwork. Should I remove them? They're claiming they're gonna copy strike us, because they threatened that too, by the way. Here, outside of that, any other use can be struck down for stealing and copyright. Like, imagine pretending to care about a creator's copyright while threatening DMCA abuse and stealing my content wholesale and redistributing it. Like, what are you smoking? They also claim that they're like, I talk with the people in question because we're close and Vtuber siblings as well. So I assume this is about the person who stole my content on Patreon. When I pull on her Twitter one, they discussed the topic, and they agreed that they would talk to her if it came to it, and also agreed that they'd send a message to make sure she had all the proper facts, and she never responded to any messages. Twitter DMs are fucked, and everything goes, whether you have premium or not. It always falls into the spam folder. On top of that, I checked and I never received a message from this person. Like, the only message she sent me was from, I have a photo of it, was yesterday. This is the first time. Rima, I'm here to message you to give you how uncomfortable the video made me in your Patreon. You literally disrespected the 3 streamers for their writing, not even bothered to not care the fact they didn't want to publicly post the article and were forced to do it by threats. Okay, but that's not what was stated in the statement. This is reopening the wounds and is doing less good. We feel like you're using this for monetization, not bothered to reach out to any of us. Basically, your video shames us from moving on, and monetizing from the pain is disgusting. I did never shame them from moving on. What are they on about? I can't speak for people, but I highly recommend not to post a video on YouTube. The pronouns are not the only thing I feel violated from. It's the whole video. I feel sick mentally. I might not heal in a long while. Trauma is not a prop for monetizing. So I want to address the monetizing aspect and the whole pronoun thing too. Now also they're claiming that like I did no digging for a relatively news article on them. Go interview people involved, get the fucking facts. Literally, I swear to God, chat, every single article that was made on this topic, because this topic was so thin on information, I scoured the internet for it. I went to get the fucking court logs and they were still thin. I got every single new information on it, so I don't know what the hell she's on about. We quoted it in the video itself. It also sucks that I can't show you guys the video because it's not even out, so it's hard to like defend it. But the standard was accuracy and good faith, both of which I met. Every news article published in this case, plus the trial logs, was used during research or quoted in the video. The only update I didn't include was that B requested to attend his trial virtually, which was inconsequential to the content. Now, on the name dropping things, like, I do not understand this claim. You also name dropped and misgender someone. Any person you name drop, what is the claim here? Because they're making it sound like I'm doxing somebody. And the people are reading her post are just taking it at face value and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe she did this, which is why I gotta go live and address it now. It's like, are we seriously upset because I read out a Twitter username? The only name I am mentioning is the name of the guy charged with 5 felonies. So now you should report on stuff without ever mentioning any name? I guess not. Like, if I'm reading a tweet, I'm not allowed to mention a Twitter username. Like, are we so for real right now? This is not serious. This is not a serious claim. So now you ask, why is Ain posting this when they're not even featured in the video, by the way? This person is not in the video. Their tweets don't show up in the video. Well, it's because I assume Milo Komun, who I presume is their friend, briefly joined my Patreon to watch a video. And then they left a comment saying they were upset about a pronoun error because they're gender fluid. So I apologized and offered to fix it. I try my best and I might use wrong pronouns at time. It happens. And if someone asks me to correct it, it's also not a problem. I'm happy to do it. And I'm happy to accommodate people when I can. But talk to me like a human being. Do not demand that to shake me down or accuse me of doing it on purpose, as these posts are insinuating. They're attributing like malice to it. Like, how could she? Like, talk to me like a human being. I'll respond and I'll work with you. But let me be clear. Just because I'm being courteous and I agree to re-record that part does in no way mean that I owe you anything, that you get to hold that over my head or use it to extort me. I did it because that's how I wanted to operate. And I felt like I responded, I said, all right, I'll fix that part. And then after I was like, all right, I'll fix that part, that's when they revealed the true motive behind why they were so upset. They got like one concession out of me, then they wanted more. No issue. But also questioning how we didn't want to post the article is not a good shape. I guess they're saying me questioning why they wouldn't share the article is not in good form. But I think it's a very valid thing to say. I get it. It can be confusing, but a lot of us process this in a painful way. The posts also having similarities were made in a discreet manner. I'm not really comfortable with the idea of this going to YouTube, as I fear for my fellow streamers would have their wounds opened again. Okay, but you are not the one that gets to dictate whether this go on YouTube or not. After trying to understand their logic, my only conclusion was it hurts itself in its confusion. My god. Like, as a trans, I get the dislike of being misgendered, but it gives me a vibe that they are escalating things more than it should. Exactly, like, if I know somebody's preferred pronouns, like, if I know them, I'll make an effort to use the correct one. But like, this was a genuine mistake. And I think it wasn't even the core of their issue, because as soon as I said I'll change it, they were like, oh, that's fine. But yada, yada, yada. What makes it super hard for me to take this as face value is that Miloko themselves, they voted for this topic to be covered a month ago when I polled it. And I went back and found their comment that they did, that they edited since then, by the way. So I don't know what it used to be. I don't know when they edited that, but I think it's worth to note that the comment has been changed since then. They're saying, I'm voting for the video of B Morning VT as one of his former associates. I'm hoping our voices were affected by his actions get heard. So they wanted the video to be done back then. They knew back then that the video would be monetized, right? So why is it an issue that the video is monetized now? because I didn't do the video exactly the way they wanted it to be, because I didn't portray everything the exact same way they wanted me to do it. Listen, it's not because you were involved in a situation, you don't get to dictate how I present my content. Back then, they were fine with all of that, my video being monetized, everything, until they realized that the framing wasn't what they wanted exactly. At that point, the position shifted from don't publish this to give us a cut of the profits, because they do claim that, by the way. The thing is, Rima is so far behind the topic that more news articles updating the trials have come out, and she blatantly chose not to do any research. Even Ilara did write in her news coverage when she covered it immediately with very little information. Rima has no excuse, and she owes the people she's defaming and stealing art from an apology, and if it were up to me, I'd say she owes them a cut of her profits from this. So, let's be honest here. What is this actually about? What is this truly about? People were concerned about her don't do things like go nuclear without first talking. They didn't care about painting you in vitriol, but we should be caring for their touchy feelings. I mean, I tried to be caring of their feelings, but they're being purposely obtuse and trying to drag me on Twitter. Sounds like they want to extort you. This is a video about somebody who's allegedly committed horrendous things. I'm not sure why we're shifting the topic to not wanting to talk about it. Like, sure, you were close to him, but you are not the victim there. I don't think it should supersede keeping our mouth shut about B. Besides, even though they claim it's about that, it's not about that, because they were okay with me making the video back then. They're just not okay with the framing. And again, it's not even the framing of the entire video. It's from a small section of it. This is ridiculous. Like, let's be honest about what's happening here. This video covers a person who was in this community and is now facing 5 felony charges related to child SA material against how can I say this in YouTube terms? MINORS, okay? This is the subject, and every single attempt to redirect this conversation towards art credit or pronoun error that I already offered to fix, mind you, or whether I owe you a payout to people for voted for the topic is at best a distraction, and at worst, it is an effort to make covering this kind of story more trouble than it is worth it, so that no one does it. So you can keep on threatening to copy strike me. You can keep on threatening me, trying to twist my arm to change the video so it can be framed as you want it to be. You're not the first person that's tried to do that, by the way, and you're not going to be the last. But you can keep coordinating backlash with your friends on Twitter, but I'm sorry, I won't be guilt-tripped out of reporting on this. Yes, the diversion here sounds very sus. Like, I understand that there's always going to be pushback from people featured in my videos, because no one likes to be criticized, even if it's a mild criticism, which was the case in this. It was super mild. And it's super easy to farm engagement from people who already dislike me. I get it. I get why they're doing this. They get to ride the wave of the hate train, the antis, Rima, and all of that, making them a nice little boost of attention. And like, this happened before. It happened with Admiral Baru. It happened last week with Miyu, who then, like, after being called out, first people were believing them in their post, then I called them out, and then it turns out they got exposed for even more stuff. It happened with Elephant Psyop. It happened with, who else, Chad? I'm like forgetting some names. But like, it's gonna keep on happening, because every time, if I make a video on somebody, they're not gonna like it. They're never gonna like it. Okay, let's talk about fair use, because a lot of people seem to be really confused about that. Now there's 4 pillars of fair use, okay? 1, purpose and character. Is it transformative? Is it commentary versus copying? 2, the nature of the work. Is it factual or creative? Is it published or unpublished? 3, the amount used. How much of the original content was taken? And 4, market effect. Does it hurt the original's value? And this is the most important factor out of all 4. Luckily, we've had a few lawsuits on fair use lately, which have helped establish a precedent onto what is fair use. So now I'm going to compare what they're accusing me of. Well, I'm going to compare the way I used fair use in my video and how they used, or they believe they used fair use by stealing my video. So my use of the artwork. 1, purpose and character. Is it transformative? Is it commentary versus copying? Well, I used it as a visual placeholder to identify a top subject in a news commentary video, and the artwork serves the commentary. It got transformed into evidence, not reproduced for its own sake. Also, help me out here. If they don't want this being reported, didn't it just make it more public than anyone else with this shit? Everyone knows now. I didn't know them. Now I do. I don't know what. I guess they were trying to build pressure so I wouldn't release it. Now let's compare this first pillar of fair use to how they used my video. Well, they recorded an unfinished video and distributed it with zero transformation. The content is identical to the original. There was no commentary on it, no criticism, no new meaning added. It is pure copying. They don't pass the first pillar of fair use. I do. Second, nature of the work, factual or creative, published or unpublished. The way I use this was the artwork was publicly posted and it was used by B Morning VT, already published and voluntarily shared with the public. How they used my video was my Patreon video is a creative original work and it's paywall, meaning it wasn't fully public yet. Reproducing unpublished or restricted creative work gets the least fair use protection, by the way. Third, amount of the content used, how much of the original was taken. For the artwork, the specific image was used as a placeholder within a larger video for like a second. It wasn't the artist's full portfolio, it was a selected piece serving a specific illustrative purpose. How was their distribution of my video? Well, my entire video was recorded and redistributed, and you cannot take 100% of a work and claim it fair use. Or, market effect. Does it hurt the original's value? Well, my commentary video does not compete with or replace the original artwork. No one will watch my video instead of buying a commission from them. You see what I mean? And this is like one of the most important part is that it needs to compete. And then for the way they stole my video was it's direct market harm. Because if people can watch my Patreon content for free via recording, well, they have no reason to pay for it. So this is like the most damaging factor. In fact, Ethan from H33 even recently won his lawsuit against Denims and who was it, like Frogan, I believe? Because they said the exact same thing these people did. They claim I didn't want him to profit from me watching the video, so I stole it. And because of that, they lost the lawsuit. Oh, Denims is still ongoing. It was Frogan. Yeah, you could technically take legal action against. Yeah, like, I mean, they're like throwing all these claims. Like, by all means, if you have a leg to stand on, try to sue me. You have no claim. If they were gloating, they didn't pay or give money to you and recorded it. Exactly. We actually didn't pay. It was recorded by someone involved and keeping tabs and showed us we were involved. So she got no money from us. And yes, it's paywalled because she put it on her Patreon first for people to pay her to watch it before it is released on YouTube. This is absolutely a case where defaming others and stealing other people's paycoms without permission. Again, your opinion is not my problem. You shouldn't even be in my comment section in the first place. This all comes down to they just don't believe that me or any other person should be able to speak about something they posted publicly. Content creators regularly make vids talking about other people online. Why are you getting a lot of flack compared to others? I've seen plenty of vids on online personalities where content creators don't reach out and just cover it. I'm held to like some kind of insane standard compared to anyone else. And I don't know why. I work so much harder than everybody else. I give everybody a fair shake. And yet I still can't please everybody. Ah, yes. Yeah. But I owe them a cut of the profit. Not because I'm showing like your tweet. Do I owe you a cut of the profits too? Like, the fuck is this? I'm trying to find one of their tweets that's very telling about how they think. Outside of that, any others can be struck down for stealing copyright. Even more so if the commissioner did not purchase monetization rights for the art. She's blatantly using it for monetization, especially monetized platforms. She makes money from Patreon, makes money from YouTube ad revenue since she is a YouTube partner. Either way, you cut the cookie. That is very illegal, and she can absolutely be sued. I mean, you want to sue me? Try it. You have no leg to stand on. I know my rights. It's literally DMCA abuse. Yeah, and they were acting all confident and gloating while proudly proclaiming that they were stealing my content and distributing it wholesale. Yeah, like, oh my god, this is so crazy. So this person is saying, so I guess if I'm streaming currently and I browse over your art while I'm streaming, and if I put that VOD behind a paywall, I would be art thief then. You can go ahead and block me because it's childish and stupid. And she says, actually, yes, I could sue you over it. What are are they smoking? The people complaining are not even one of the main people that I like showed the statement from. They were like side characters slash cameos that appeared for a few seconds. The person made the post is not even in the video. Mr. Slime VA is actually somebody that I showed their statement of, and they're like, just, I don't understand what this is about. It's not clear. Oh, I know about B. I knew them too. Damn, this ain't a late video or anything. Okay, I'll admit the video is late, but as you guys know, my videos are not like topics of the day kind of videos. They're just evergreen topics that I cover because my production process is pretty long. But Mr. Sam V is like cool about it. And they were actually one of the people like more involved in the video rather than Ain and this other person. It's literally what Niji Sanji did to False, by the way. Niji says False used the face of avatars or Niji talents without permission on the thumbnails. Exactly. And then they couldn't like sue him or press further because they had no leg to stand on. There was another tweet that I'm looking for that they're like saying something like, if you are not, they literally say, if you are not someone who was directly involved in making the video with Rima or that was directly involved in the situation, then you don't get to talk under my tweet. Like, you don't get to be part of this discussion. Like, I feel like this really just showcases their mentality towards all of this and why there's a mismatch right now. If you post something online, it becomes part of the public market. Like, you posted something on a public platform, people have the right to form an opinion on it. You're like, just as you still don't wish to listen, this is not, it's my problem, and you will be immediately blocked. Some people's stance on this really tells that they care, not in a good way. And you're just misinformed about how things work. They want an echo chamber or nothing. Yeah, basically. Yeah, you have no right to respond to me on an open platform on the internet. Ugh. If you were glazing it, they wouldn't have those complaints. Yeah, but then my audience would have been like, you're not, you know, you're not accurately covering it. So apparently there's an update from Jay. Oh, they DM'd me yesterday. I did not see it. Okay. Hey, I just didn't want art of me and that person that I commissioned use because I don't like the fact that someone so deplorable was given a platform through me and that I supported them. I was trying to wait for the video to be released before speaking publicly because I just assumed there was miscommunication and wanted to see what happened myself in your video. Because what I have been told is that my response or critique despite my struggle with— What? I didn't even know he had dyslexia. Dude, what did they tell him? I'm really curious what they told him exactly. I had DM you personally, to which you never replied, to try and clarify it between the two of us. I told fellow people involved in the exposing of B that I didn't want anything posted on Twitter yet until I heard any updates from you or saw the video myself. Oh, well, he's being nice about it. He's being nice about it. If he doesn't want the artwork to be showed because it makes him uncomfortable that he's in there with B, that's fine. We can fix that. See, this is how it should be handled. And also this person, apparently, I guess from what I'm getting, is that they didn't want to speak publicly on it before trying to message me. And they wanted to watch the video first. Oh, what's the second message? Hi, I messaged you to clarify parts of the video. First, we did not talk together to make the same tweet. I only talked to my mod tweet on my Discord server to get my words written down and to be understanding and clear. I messaged Sid before posting to give them a heads up on the situation as we knew them, so I'm guessing that the other used part of my tweet to be in theirs. As I was the first to tweet regarding the situation. This was back in February, so I'm trying to remember from that period. Secondly, I didn't share the link to the article due to not wanting dogs get any risk into legal trouble. The article was very easy to find, which is why I didn't share or even quoted it from. And my mod team and I agree not to go down that route. Thirdly, the way the wording is done in the tweet is due to me being dyslexic. This is how I can type most of the time. It can be seen my other tweets in the past, so I do not appreciate the comments on that. The assumption you have included in the video are not correct and be harmful in sharing the wrong information, so you do not contact me to ask for information. I think because I make a joke in the video, because they capitalize like every word. Like all the statement had capitalized words. A big important announcement. I am no longer associated in cutting ties with B. Yeah, it's about, I made a joke about the capitalization and I was like, why did they title this like a clickbait video? You guys know how I do like jokes sometimes in my videos. And I guess whoever reported that to him is making it seem like I'm making fun of his dyslexia for some reason, which is untrue. Watch out, making sure that's how you get fired from VA jobs. True. Yeah, no, this is definitely about this. I didn't even know he had dyslexia. It was not about this at all. I've been informed that an image including me have been used in video regarding a person beating for spreading awareness about this issue. Please don't use any image videos I said a person I don't like having associated with them. I do not and never will condone their action. Learning about the situation has affected me deeply and I wish to be as far away from it and them as possible. Yeah, that's fair. What the fuck is this? Rima Evenstar. Remembered you for journalist was 6+ months ago and I'm gonna cancel it and request a refund on my latest month. I don't give a fuck about anything else. If you're going to say what? FT slur word, then say it publicly with your chest so I can remove my funding? What the fuck are you talking about? When the hell did I say that? Who is spreading these allegations? And also, if you say that word, you're banned on site, in my chat, and in my Discord. So by all means, I don't want you in my community. Give me your Discord username. Give me your Twitch and YouTube username. You are banned, buddy. You are banned. What an unhinged person. There's no way. Honestly, fake community member, because everybody here knows that they don't get to use trans slurs. Actually, paid actor. What the fuck is this tweet? Like, virtue signal, Bing, we got thief, a transphobe for misgendering, ableist, and now using slurs. What's next? I don't know, but none of these labels stick on me because they're literally all untrue. Like, yeah, I am always respectful even when making fun of bad actors. Because she misgendered in a private paywall video and offered to fix it, now she's called that. Sounds like someone just stirring up trouble. Yeah. I mean, people can call me transphobe all they want. It's never gonna stick. I've collabed with trans people. All of my IRL friends are gay. You can't tell the gay queen she's transphobic. I'm literally your brood mother. Like, Nani? True, send the bloopers to your doctor because it's crazy. No, Rima, you're not dyslexic, you're just French. Sometimes I do flip words. Thank you, RPG man. Yeah, guys. English is confusing, especially when one word could have many meanings. All your friends, even Deanne and Parrot. Oh, I'm in my IRL friends, most of them, yeah. Confirmed Parrots and Deanne are gay. True. Yeah, why do you think they slept in the same bed? Well, TBH, I got cancelled quite a lot already. I just didn't use to talk about it. But then what happened is that, like, I realized that the people that just scream the loudest, it becomes their truth. And especially because they're so confident about it. Like that one, like, crazy person on Reddit that was like, Rima is a newborn evangelist or something. And then somebody else replied, they were like, no, I don't think she is. And he was like, of course she is. It is very well known. Like, so many people have been turned away from my content without even giving it a shot because of posts just like this one today. Yeah, a born again fundy. What's that? Born again evangelical fundy or something. Sounds like people spreading false rumors about it. Yeah, of course. I can't spend my entire day just like debunking crazy shit people are saying on Twitter because it takes 2 seconds for them to say a lie. And I have to come up with receipts. I have to sit down and draft a statement like I had to do with last week. And then, you know, it's too long. I have a job. I am employed. People search it just because they have no life. Do it for the click and baits. Because their life's so miserable, they have to bring others down to their level. And people just make shit up on the internet. It takes them 1 second to come up with a lie. For every lie, it takes me, what, like 20 minutes to debunk it? Rima is employed, immersion ruined. Yeah, I'd be on the internet forever trying to debunk stuff. Being serious, you're one of the most friendliest commentators to LGBT I've seen, so seeing people howling these accusations is pretty laughable. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's not like I make a show or anything. I've never called, like, my space a safe space or like that. I just, like, for me, it's just normal. It's just, like, treating other people with respect. That's it. It's like the baseline. It really ain't that deep. And now there's just more people being just straight up mean or malicious. So I feel like they kind of ruined edgy humor for me. They were getting their ass tore up in the replies and I had to make a statement like, I'm no longer going to reply to Rima defenders. I'm dead. I know. And they weren't even, like, getting that much pushback. Like, their tweet got way more traction than my response, which is just the nature of things, right? The hate tweet will always get more traction. I mean, it just sucks, but for real, like, I'm so tired. Can we get a patch for the content farm glitch? True. Yeah, treat people like their people's not that deep. It ain't. Twitter made me realize you can't tell a brick it's a brick. You can prove it's wrong, but it will never understand it's still a brick. The the problem is there's always going to be people falling for it. Like there's people like this that are just gonna come in, they're like, what the fuck is this? And then they read all these things, they're insinuating all these things that I'm defaming, that I'm slandering. Then they're like, you name dropped somebody, you misgender somebody. It literally sounds like I'm doxing somebody. This is absolutely sickening. Do better. And these people that don't know any of the parties involved, they see this, are like, what the hell? I'm never gonna watch this person's content. They're insane. It's just another day at the office. One day I'm gonna this dude, the fake actor. I like that there's people that also, this person is not even like a follower of me, by the way. They're just like, most of the people pushing back in the comments don't even like me or watch my content. They just read the thread and they're like, this is stupid. There's like literally no evidence to back this up. But yeah, I think one thing that is really not talked about when one becomes a content creator, it's like, nobody told me that only 20% of this job would actually be content creation, and then the 80% that's left is problem solving and like trying to put out fires every single day. I think sometimes it is worth, like I said, to reply, because I think the problem in the past is that because I like tended to ignore it, because I was like, it's just not worth it. I didn't want to cause more trouble. It creates this perception that whenever somebody wants to take a pot shot at Rima, they're like, well, why shouldn't I try? There is no consequences to it. At best, I get a viral tweet. At worst, she just doesn't reply. So it's like, fuck, you guys keep abusing the fact that I tried to act professionally, and now we're here. Well, you wanted attention, you wanted clout so bad, well, you got my attention now. Yeah, without any response, I become a free target. I'm not gonna do it each time. I hope that after debunking, this is what, like the second story in like, what, 2 weeks? That people are gonna be able to do that exercise on their own moving forward. Yeah, they take being nice as a sign of weakness, literally. Like, they smell blood and they just all go for it. Burden of proof is on the accuser. This needs to be drilled into people. True, but it never is. Like, they don't care. I'm so tired, I can't keep up. Same. Idiots don't care about burden of proof. I mean, I don't, it's true, I guess. I don't think these people are principled at all, because like they're literally gloating about stealing my content while talking that I like claiming that I'm stealing somebody else's content. So it's kind of like, is this a case of we don't like this person, so it's okay if we do it to them because we dislike them kind of deal? I mean, I think there's been some pretty big dissemination campaigns against me in the past, that I kind of just let it fly. And there's actually a lot of people that only after like years of me just showing up consistently, defending VTubers principles when they were being like, people were being unfair to them, you know, debunking narratives that were untrue, even some against companies that people dislike, like Niji Sanji. And I just showed up consistently. And then some people sometimes send me messages and they were like, I heard all these things about you. I had you blocked, but I unblocked you because I realize you're not what people made it seem to be. And I get it. My point of views are so not black and white that they're difficult to understand, and they're difficult for people to just like, they come into a stream or they see a clip of me, they're not getting the full picture. And I do tend to like yap a lot. It's true. Like, I drag on my stances. So, or maybe it's a me problem. Maybe I don't express myself well enough. I don't fucking know at this point. But I feel like it's that. Like, I feel like you need to watch like a couple of my streams to actually understand the full picture of what Rima is about. You can't just see a clip and get it. A lot of streamers nowadays are about like this gimmick where it's like 10 life hacks to make your life easier, or just this is what I'm about. But I'm not like that. Do you think a lot of this is stemming from the issue with Mujin recently? Like, just so people are burning on issues? Some of them, yes, but there's always been like a hate in the VTuber community for the people doing commentary like me, because it's not totally idle stuff. Hey Camaro, I'm pretty sure they just use this as an excuse to dunk on you for fucking who knows, whether it be for defending Lily, something regarded her whole life, going after you, I'm fucking something from before I found you, I don't know. You live rent free in their head and have such a hate boner. I don't think you even need to give a response to or defend yourself, Rima. You got nothing to prove to these vampires. Thank you. I mean, before it used to be false ID taking the brunt of it, and now that him and Q are gone, I guess the attention is switching to me. The people that claim that I'm not like doing well enough for the VTuber community, they don't understand how many people are like, I discovered the VTubers because of you, and now I can't stop watching them, and all I'm doing is watching clips. Or my wife watched one of your videos the other day, and now she's asking me what VTubers are. By the way, to this person, you're cooked now. Hey, you! Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I'll see you in the next video.